my in-depth analysis of Spider-Man 2. I played the game. It was nice. It was great. It was wonderful. It was great. But this ain't gonna be just any kind of like analysis. It's gonna be like how much you want to talk a bit about the relationship between different characters. Three characters technically. So yeah, I'm going to talk about the relationship between Peter, Venom, and Harry, and how each one have their own kind of weird arc with each other. Because I thought it was kind of interesting. You know?
Bad guys harassing those people. Gotta move.
So basically, I think it's not. Basically, it was confusing a little bit at first. I wasn't really I was kind of confused of how. For a moment, I thought it was just like he didn't want to get separate from Harry. And now I'm starting to think that it's actually the way around. Because actually, the way that I see it, that Venom was fine.
Just a little bit safer now. Thanks to Spider-Man.
Say hi to your fans. You are trending.
I think the symbiote was away from the stone for too long, where it kind of just forgot about the stone for a little bit, and where it came from, essentially. But I could be wrong. I could be, but I don't know. I really could be wrong there. But if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. But basically, it feels like the symbiote kind of lost itself trying to be a cure for Harry, and it was fine with it. It really was, I think, because it's been away from the Rock for 2 years. It just got used to just being what was meant to be. I think just got used to what Norman wanted to be for the longest time. Oh, here's Miles. Oh, my bad. A goal! What are they? Oh yeah. But basically, just like, it was fine. Then, like, it saw Peter get hurt. And it took the fact that it needed to heal people, so it took its will its own, and it finally, like, inexpensively.
That looked expensive. Sorry. Thanks. We should take this on the road sometime. Sounds like a good excuse to finally build that Spider-Mobile.
And it kind of like took it the fact of like it needs to heal people, and it just, I don't know, it just seemed kind of nice that it wanted to help people, because it kind of forgot that it wanted a new home, and it thought it had a home, basically, so it kind of forgot its mission. That's what I think. But what makes it so more interesting, the fact that once he has Peter, and it feels the powers that Peter has, that he was going to die without the fact of it. Even though his powers were working as well, it felt like, yeah, I'm gonna help the powers and whatnot. But as soon as like it got a taste of Peter's powers, it didn't want to go back to Harry, because it feels his power. it wants more. Basically, I feel like that if it had more, and then it gets even better, and the theory gets better because, like, you know, it went back to the rock and it just had a attraction to it that it forgot what it was for the longest time ever. But then, like, once it got close to the rock, it started to remember, and, like, all it wanted was the rock again, which is why I think, like, it focused more on the rock in the third act. At least that's the idea I'm getting at least. I thought it was good. It was nice. It was a nice personal story between the Venom symbiote and the Rock, between the symbiote and Harry and Peter, and Peter and the symbiote itself. It was nice. It was great. It was one thing over the other sometimes, you know, like, whatever. kind of the idea. Wait, hold up. Where's it?
Cultists really aren't afraid of anything.
Oh, fuck. Ah! Ow!
I don't care who started this. I'm finishing it.
Oh, the sound effects, it's so good. Woo! The sound effects for this controller are so good. Time to die. You know, just I thought it was good. You know, like it was fun. It was nice.
Oh, you guys just stuck right up, huh? That's super cool.
Ugh. Ow!
Where'd those symbiotes come from?
Seriously, more symbiotes? Oh my god, no.
Use your weapon!
Go, guys. Cool. There we go. But you know, those are my thoughts really. Just like, I love how the idea of like the symbiote was fine with just it saving people one by one and not really making a new home anymore. Because it feels like it finally found a home with Harry. And it found even more of a home with Peter. The fact that Peter kind of like rejected it after the fact that it found the rock, it's what it's praised its mission back towards, is towards the rock. Making a new home, killing everyone. And even that alone is the fact of it killing the world.
Those people
It's
can't fight off
the idea that the symbiote had. Because like, the idea of like, it like, saving the world. You need the rock to do so, actually. Even a better theory, to be fair. I thought I was doing the right thing, even. I thought it was good. You know, like, and incorporate, like, Harry's storyline and the video stuff. Like, even that alone, like, it was even better. It was so good. Like, it was fine doing that. Then it involved with The Rock. You know, it saw The Rock again, like, we could definitely heal the world with The Rock, making the world symbiotes. It was great. It's wonderful. It's one of the reasons why I love this story, because, like, it just incorporated the fact of the symbiote story of, like, the world being symbiotes to there you go, Sark. There we go. Of filling the world with Peter and Miles to the fact of it just being with The Rock as well, even though it's not what they intended it to be. And it involved that, healing the world, and that's what the symbiote thought would need to happen to save the world. Or to heal the world, sorry, but still, like, I just thought it was interesting, you know? Like, it was great, it was wonderful, it was nice. Yo, let's go! Up you go, and dead you go.
Big boy coming in with friends.
Die. Well, even like the fact of the symbiote. Oh, even like I forgot to mention, like even this suit, like, you know, the anti-venom suit. Anti-venom suit played a bigger role of like healing the world as well. Like it all went back to like healing the world and whatnot. It was great. You know? Like, yeah, heal the world. And the anti-venom suit actually completes the main objective of healing the world even better than the actual like venom symbiote did. Which I found really nice and securing. It was great. It was wonderful. You know, like, it was great. You know, like, again, I'm just gonna reiterate, like, you know, the fact that the symbiote between Miles, the symbiote suit between Peter and Harry worked very well. And like, it was doing the original idea with Harry becoming Agent Venom. It was great. It was wonderful. You know? Then it got a taste for Peter's powers, and it wanted to go back to killing the world even more. Then it found The Rock again, and it wanted to go back to its original idea. And I thought that kind of story was really good for it. You know? Like, it was wonderful. It was great. I didn't think anything was wrong with it. But let's go. And just the fact of it alone just was great. And then like part of the symbiote suit stayed with Peter because of the long exposure. It was great. And Mr. Negative, just the fact that Mr. Negative healed Peter even more with that and made him anti-venom even better, because the anti-venom suit accomplished Harry's and Peter's goal to begin with, killing the world, accomplishing their goal basically. It was nice, it was sweet, it was a wonderful story, it was nice. You know, like. I think the idea of the story was great. Yeah, sure, like, Kraven, like, made the world worse by him showing up and causing the events to begin with. Even though the events probably would have played out the same regardless without Kraven, but the idea that Kraven is the one that really encouraged the symbiote to come out more was even a beautiful, better way to emphasize that story between the symbiote and Perry, between Peter and Harry.
That guy nearly hit somebody.
Without it, you know, the symbiote wanted something to hunt, and Harry was mad that Peter got almost killed. And then it saw Peter hurt, then went to it. It definitely wanted Kraven dead even more after having its kind of power on it. I thought that that kind of story is great.
There's a blockade.
Die! Dang! Oh, you did not just do that to me, sir. No. Oh. I just think it was great, you know, like, the idea of it all. I love everything about the symbiote story between Peter and Harry.
That's all of them?
Between Parker and Harry. It was great. It was wonderful. The symbiote bonded with them both pretty accurately. It was great. I was kind of expecting Harry to be the main Venom, inexpensively, which, surprise, surprise, he was. But it was great. It was wonderful. You know, like, it was everything anyone really wanted to be. And the symbiote story and Harry's story and Peter's story lines up really well with each other. It was great. It was wonderful. It was beautiful. I didn't think the story was that long. I didn't think... I thought it was a little bit shorter. Actually, no, I feel like it was a little bit of both, or like a little bit of longer and shorter. It depends. If you do like the side stories, it doesn't feel as longer, definitely. But, yeah, no, I don't know. Like, it was great. The only nitpick I would have to say is, I feel like, and don't get me wrong, like, I feel like they did do, like, Miles a little bit justice, a little bit, but I thought we were gonna have more main missions with him, but honestly, we honestly didn't. The only way we got to play as any main mission is through Peter, and I kind of, there were some main missions, but it was mostly just through cutscenes, and I don't know how I feel about that. I really don't. Because it was supposed to be pulled through Peter in Miles. And it just feels like it was just a Peter-centric story. Don't get me wrong, like, it was both of their stories, and it definitely feels that way. But the reason I say it doesn't half the time is because most of the missions you gotta play through is with Peter. And the only way you can play it as Miles is, again, through Peter as well. The only way you can play as Peter and the only way you can play Miles' story is through side quest, which, to me, it's a little bit unsettling a little bit. Like, it was a good idea. I think they wanted to do more with Miles, but they really wanted to focus on the fact of the symbiote, which is fine, don't get me wrong. But like, come on. If you want to tell a story between the both of them, give equal character, equal much of a main mission than the other. Other than like have Peter main story, Miles semi-main story, mostly side quest storylines. You know? Like, come on. I think the reason they said it was worth it is because like most of the side missions are indeed involving Miles.
Whoa, symbiote's dropping in. Whoa, symbiote's dropping in.
Oh. Oh, you did not just do that. But no, I feel like Miles kind of got all that down a little bit. I enjoyed the storyline, I enjoyed the side quest, especially like, through like, you know, the idea of like Mysterio becoming a major villain for Miles, even though it wasn't really clinking back. I thought that kind of twist was kind of exciting, and it gives Mysterio, like, Miles a new villain, like a brand new villain to fight. Even though it wasn't through the actual Mysterio character, but it was Mysterio fighting him. I don't know, I just found it kind of good. Like, it was weird, but it was good. It was interesting for sure. And like, the fact that they saved Lee not as a Peter villain, but a Miles villain, that was good too. Like, that was the only main story quest they really saved for Miles mostly. Which, again, ain't that bad, but still, like, you know, like, come on, like, if you want to give Miles equal attention, give him as equal much as main missions. I think that would have been good.
Gotta save those people from the symbiote.
You know? Like, come on. Again, I'm not trying to say the game's not good. I'm saying it's an amazing game overall. It's just my nitpicks, you know, like, come on. You want Miles to be really a good part of the story? Give him equal much as main mission time than Peter. I think, you know, like, yeah. I don't know. I think they could have done better. Like, it's a good game overall. Like, come on. Like, come on. I hope the most YouTubers are out there watching this as well. I hope they kind of agree with me with the Mario situation. Like, I'm not saying his storyline wasn't that good. I'm saying it was good. I just think they could have done more main missions with Miles instead of giving him the most of the side quest. Come on, like, what kind of people wants to play as Miles and only do side quests when Peter's, you know what I mean? Like, come on. Like, you know what I mean? Like, come on. Like, give Miles a shine. You know? Like, come on. Come on. You really want to do Miles that good? Ever? Give him equal much time as Peter to do main stories. Granted, like, you know, Peter does have some side stories. But not only containing to him, you know? Like, I feel like they kind of lied a little bit about, like, some side quests for Peter, some side quests for Miles. it was mostly Miles, only Miles side quests, and like every once in a while Peter can join in on some side quests. But it's something like, come on, like don't give us that, and like it was fine. Honestly, it was, but still, like, I feel like I'm making some valid points here, They said equal, I don't know, like, overall, I think Insomniac Spider-Man is the best. The Insomniac Spider-Man games are the best universe for me. In my personal opinion, it is. Insomniac Spider-Man Peter will be my favorite Peter, as well as Miles. Because Miles is my favorite Spider-Man ever. But for like Insomniac Spider-Man for Peter Parker, Peter has to be my favorite of the Insomniac universe ever. Oh. Ow! Sir? Woo! Oh god. Oh, there we go. And boom. Oof. I messed up once, but I eventually pulled through. I liked it. It was fun. But I don't know, I hope most people can understand where I'm coming from. I hope so, because I don't think Insomniac Universe is a bad game. It's the best universe they ever made, honestly, I think. And I absolutely love where they went with it, actually. Yo, let's go. Can I actually come in here? Ah, damn it, I can't. Oh, wow.
Sorry.
Damn. The lab is destroyed, man. That's great. I love that detail, actually. Like, they made this universe so in-depth. It is my favorite universe ever for Spider-Man. I love the Spectacular universe as well, but like, come on, this universe?
Cultists are trying to brand someone. Let them go! This is all part of the prophecy!
How can you not say, like, this is one of the most interesting universes ever to be made? Do this.
Don't worry, I'll get you to an ambulance in no time. Thank you, Spider-Man.
I just, like, it's great. It's wonderful. Like, come on. How can you say, like, this universe is not good? This universe is wonderful. The Easter eggs for each game, Easter eggs for the Fantastic Four and the Avengers. Come on now. Like, you're crazy if you think like any other universe can really compare. And they kind of confirmed that the Wolverine game is canon. In Spider-Verse, like, this game takes place before the events of Into the Spider-Verse. Come on, like, that's cool. That's cool.
From that box of crystals.
Sorry, missed my train.
Like, come on. Like, come on. How can you say that's not something to be proud of? I'm just running with this man. You excuse me, you little bitch. Either way, I just think it's good. I really do. Like, it's great. Some nitpicks here and there, like I said. But overall, it is wonderful. It is a good game. It's a good universe, for sure. Out of my way.
There. You're all set. And I hope the worst is over now.
I can't thank you enough. Also, my boyfriend's your biggest fan.
You know, like, come on. I do think this universe... I think the game is gonna come... Here's another thing. People say, like, it's gonna end with Spider-Man 3 because of the final chapter. I have to explain that part for sure. Like, I don't think they mean, like, the final chapter for good for Spider-Man games, for this universe. I think it means... If it is yet to believe, and if it's not correct, Peter will possibly die in the third game. It's hinted in this game. It is 100% hinted in this game when, like, Kraven stabs him. It is hinted that Peter will die in the third game. Yo, go, we got you. Oh, that's kind of cool. Okay, cool. But it is hinted in this game that Peter will die at some point in the third game. Does that mean it's going to be the end of the Insomniac Spider-Man? Maybe. Who knows? But I think it's not. I think it's going to mean, like, yeah, it's going to be the end. It's going to be the final chapter for Peter Parker's Spider-Man. And you remember, Miles is still out there. Miles is still here. He's still a big part of this universe. You know? As well as Silk. I can see them having 3 chapters. Like, 3 other chapters for, like, you know, Miles, then eventually Silk. You know? I think that could be good, you know? Like, come on. There has to be more villains out there for the Spider people, you know? Like, it's just not just Sandman. Sandman's still out there. You know? You know? Yeah, sure, the other Sinister Six people are dead. But there's also, you know, Dr. Octopus. I think Dr. Octopus could be, you know, he could still be alive after the third game, but who knows? He could die as well. But you never know what could happen. You know? Like, it's one thing to think that it is going to be the eventual end. But we're returning. Oh, we are. Nice. Nice. That's nice. That's kind of funny. That is actually kind of funny, actually, to see that. Woo! again, I think it's nice to see, this story having, maybe another trilogy chapter with Miles, and then maybe Silk. I don't know. It's something to think about, guys. Because remember, like, yeah, the end of Peter doesn't mean the end of Spider-Man. It just means the end of his chapter of his life. Making the final sacrifice. For Miles to continue going on as Spider-Man. Then eventually him passing his knowledge around to Silk, aka Cindy Moon. Another thing, guys, I'm pretty sure going to be DLC, and I'm pretty sure he is going to lose the symbiote in said DLC with Carnage. I feel like Carnage is like a really major threat that's going to take all like the anti-venom to get rid of. So basically, once Carnage is gone, the anti-venom also is going to be gone too, I think. Which, again, wouldn't be a bad thing at all. I think it'll be a nice closure to the, story of Anti-Venom, as well as giving Carnage its own DLC, and maybe, give Silk her powers through the DLC as well. The way I can see it is like this. The first DLC really establishes Cindy Moon. By the end of, the first DLC, Peter and Miles are both at the end of it, because, the after credit scene, whatever, shows that Carnage is still out there. Whatever. And of course, like, nice little snippets of between Miles and Cindy talking. Like how, Miles reached out to Peter. But by the end of the first DLC, she eventually gets her powers. Dun dun dun. The end of the DLC after credit scene is gonna be, showing Cassidy, out there, plotting whateverness. Really getting into it. Next one, I don't know, like, maybe it's gonna be like a different thing, the introduction of Cindy is gonna be the first DLC, where, they fight random crimes and whatever, and the plot thickens between, the fact of learning Cassidy is returning at some point. By the next DLC, say, the character of, quote-unquote, of, oh my god, Wraith, aka Yuri, coming back for some side missions, or part of the main quest line between Peter. I'm saying this, the first DLC would be, Miles, learning that, Cassidy's out there, learning the name of telling Peter, and then, somehow, by the end of the first DLC, Peter gets a hold of Yuri. The second game would be between Peter and Yuri, with some, Miles doing some more side stuff, then that's fine. Because the first DLC, founded, Miles' story, discovering, this person's out there murdering people, becoming the old, Kenny Cassidy, Cleanest Cassidy's murderer, without the flames, because that part of his story is basically done. So now he left the flames, or he's still part of the flames, but now it's just a murderer cult now. And then, it's getting really bad. Then he calls Peter for help. Then Peter gets back into the game by the second DLC. Some storylines between Cindy and Miles, Peter and Yuri, By the end of the second DLC, even still, maybe Cindy by the second DLC, she's trying to get Miles to teach her about being a spider person. And they kind of go through a similar arc that Miles and Peter did. You know? And this time around, she has two spider people. By the third DLC, you know, like...
doing a stakeout? Not in my neighborhood. Gotta be honest, not loving the hidden ambush spot. Easy peasy, lemon squeeze.
Over to you and being your ass. Boom, baby.
Tech support.
Sorry. But by the third DLC, the third DLC picks up, this time with Peters and Miles being the main focus. Like, they raised up around, like, the main story. Really, like, some storylines with Miles. For, like, the first half with Cindy Moon. Second half, of the DLC. With Peter. By the end of it, Miles, Peter, and Yuri team up to fight Venom. Peter loses his anti-venom powers to save the city from Carnage, losing his symbiote abilities. Yuri finally, is finally done with that case, or whatever. She finally got her revenge on everything there, but still becomes the Vigilant known as Wraith. Anti-hero and all. I think that would be a good spot to stop off in the end credits would be Miles finally teaching Cindy how to be a spider person. With some help with Peter Parker. I think that's what the DLC should do, yeah. I think that'd be a good idea, yeah. It'd be great. It'd be wonderful. Because, it will be what everybody wants, the end of the Carnage, end of the anti-venom, Cindy Moon getting some character development, whatever. Yeah, sure, we might be rushing, the fact that she's getting her powers,
Some
but I
jerks are
think,
trying to break into that building.
well, I think, because they didn't really introduce another spy person like everybody thought they would in the second game. Well, they did, but not as well. I think it'd be nice having her powers come in during the second game. It'd be perfect in the DLC. I did it for you! And for you!
That was easy. And now I just jinxed myself.
I don't know, I think that'd be a good idea, introducing her powers in the second game. In the second DLC. In the DLC. I think that'd be a good idea, Then she fully, takes training seriously. By the third game, because she has some training, second DLC probably, secretly. The Peter gets involved by the third one. In the third game, it picks up with them both having, all of them having powers. And Peter dies, and there's only two spider people again. I think that would be a good idea, come on, tell me. That does not sound like a good idea to me. Come on. You got him, that's a good idea. Come on. And back we go. Whoa. think it would be. I think that would be a perfect idea. You know, like come on. But at least those were my thoughts on like how the game, you know, how I think the story was between Miles' storyline. Some nitpicks with Miles. The story between Peter, Harry, and the symbiote were pretty good. And the missions were good too. I will admit, I like them. But come on, you got to admit, they kind of did Miles kind of last minute. I feel like it felt like, but still, those are my thoughts. Depends on you guys agreeing or not, but. But you know, those were my thoughts. You know, I hope you guys agree with my thoughts and whatever. And yeah, later. I'll see you guys next time.